Pet Talk UK! Pro B's up in the Northwest. Finally, I've made it to come and see the man himself, Mr. Peter Fury. How are you?
Some introduction, that is. Do you want to do it again?
Hey, I'm just missing the drum roll.
Yeah, I think so. How are you? You alright?
I'm doing well. I stepped in your gym. It was absolutely like a sauna in there, you know. You look like you're cutting weight yourself, you know, you're looking trim yourself.
Yeah, I have. I've definitely been doing a bit and eating right, and seen a few people doing it, and it's given me some inspiration to get off my fat ass and do something. So yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, we've got, obviously, look, you know, we've got to kind of open with your fighters. You know, we've seen Hughie looking sharp. I saw you doing some technical work with Hughie. And what's the latest of Hughie? He's saying that he's awaiting some news to let us know what's happening. Yeah,
we're just waiting on some news with Hughie, and that's it at the moment. But
we've had Joshua and Usyk announced, Wilder Fury 3 October. The heavyweights scene now seems to be set now, and fights are happening. So a chance for Hughie to get in the mix again.
Yeah, we just have to take it by ear and see who we can get and get him moving. He's promised 2 fights this year, so hopefully that happens.
Yeah, realistically, I mean, what is the next step up for Hughie, would you say?
For the bell to go, smash somebody in and get on with the next one. That's it, really.
Yeah, and I was also saying to Hughie earlier that, look, you know, in some ways he done his apprenticeship very young. And in terms of ring generalship, you know, he's learned it on the job, which is going to put him in good stead later on, rather than having a padded record.
Yeah, you know, padded records are no good. You know, young men ain't learning anything from them, because when the going gets tough, it gets too tough for them. So they best lose early than lose later on when they're in the 30s. Yeah. So it's he's been guided the right way.
Yeah. What do they say? What's that saying? Records are for
DJs.
There you go. Remix.
That's the one. Yeah, of course. You know, exactly. You're right. It is.
And we've also witnessed Savannah Marshall. I mean, I haven't seen her train before, but just watching her today, you know, I see what the hype's about. You know, skills to pay the bills, no doubt about it.
Skills, and you know, you've seen the power of her as well.
The left hook. Oh, we were talking about the left hook.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal athlete. Good power, you know, it's all there. So it's yeah, very interesting for Savannah.
Yeah, obviously she's achieved that great feat of being a world champion, and I suppose.
Yeah, there's a belt there.
There it is, right there.
That's it. I just told her, I said we've got to have all that bottom row and probably the top as well, very soon.
Very soon, and obviously she's back out. Soon?
Very soon, yeah. She's at the moment 12th of August, I think.
Fight camp?
Yeah.
100%. Just an opportunity for, you know, Savannah just to kind of showcase a bit more. I think, you know, I think a lot of people knew about her ability and potential. Was kind of heightened a little bit further by that very impressive win over Hannah Rankin, where she showed a hell of a lot of skill.
Yeah, it's you know, everybody saw that fight. She's moved on again since then. You've seen her in the last fight. She dispatched that opponent pretty quick. She's just improving all the time, getting better, more seasoned. You know, she's had 10 fights now. This is 11th coming up. So it's yeah, just getting better and better. We're working on different stuff all the time here in the gym. So she's not resting on what she's got. She had things to improve, and she's improving on it.
Yeah. I suppose the boring question, next question is, you keep talking about this big women's fight. Carissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. Where are we? I know you've been asked this question 100 times over.
You know, we're always looking at the next fight. Let's get the next one out of the way, and if that fight can be done after, perfect. You know, we'd have that fight this year if we could get it. If not, she'll have a couple of fights this year, and hopefully the fight can be made next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Clarissa Shields step into the MMA octagon, as it were. What did you kind of make of the crossover, you know, from Clarissa Shields going to another sport?
Yeah, you know, she's not getting the fights in the, and there's nobody around, and she wants to try something else. I think it's good. It's done her good for her profile and everything else, and she's achieved something else there. So, you know, you can't criticise people in sport. This is a hard sport at the best of it. So, all takes dedication, all takes training. So, you know, well done to her for doing it.
Anthony Joshua, probably the worst kept secret in heavyweight boxing, will fight Usyk September the 25th at Spurs football ground. Good fight.
I think it is. It's a good fight. It's technical boxer against you know, a big punching world champion heavyweight.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get any better. Be interesting to see this fight. It won't be easy. You've got to slightly favour Joshua because he's a bigger man. He's got the power there. But like I said, it's not all about power. You've got to land it, and he's no mug, Usyk, for sure. I've got it very close, you know, but slightly tipping in AJ's favour.
Yeah. You think the size of AJ and the experience would be a bit too much for Usyk coming up from a cruiserweight?
Well, definitely not experience, because Usyk's got the more experience. You know, he was a very good amateur like Joshua. He's a unified world cruiserweight champion. He's had a couple of fights at heavyweight, so this will be the best Usyk coming in, and you know, they'll be confident they can win it. They're not just turning up as the opponent. You know, he'll be full of confidence. Usyk, he can lift it, which starts evening it out. And when you look at the stats, he's very hard to hit, Usyk. He's a good studier of the game. You know, so all these fights are hard fights. Can go any way.
Yeah, there has been some obviously criticism from some of the boxing fans that said that Usyk at heavyweight, you know, his fights so far, he hasn't looked impressive. What have you made of his opening fights at heavyweight?
Yeah, I think he's done what he's had to do. He's had to do that transition from cruiserweight to heavyweight, but I think he's there. Look, it's a difficult fight. Saying that, you know, look, Joshua might come out, you know, he might tag him early, it might be a good night. He might make a mistake. That to me is like 5% out of 100 that will happen. You know, I see a proper chess match and a good fight.
Yeah, there's some arguments out there that Derek Chisora in the fight against Joshua started like a train and gave Usyk some problems in the early rounds. But obviously Anthony Joshua is a dedicated athlete who lives that life day in, day out. He will maintain it for 12 rounds if it needs to go that way. What do you kind of think of the whole concept that Anthony Joshua would be a bit too much, that some people are saying, for Usyk, only in his third fight at heavyweight?
Yeah, you know, I can see that, and it's a good valid point. And you know, with the stats and the size of him and everything else, you know, but boxing don't work that way. You know, this is a heavyweight division. Things happen. You know, so like I say, it's a good fight. Joshua's improved as well, so it'll be good. Slightly edged Joshua in it, but I wouldn't have it as a mismatch, or it's going to be one-way traffic. But I don't see this fight being that way.
He had that hiccup against Andy Ruiz Jr., but we're seeing him box a lot more now, you know, rather than just go out there and blast people out. What have you made of his evolution?
Yeah, I think it's look, what you do, you get up. You know, life's about being kicked and being down. You get up off your back, dust yourself off, and correct your mistakes. He's been able to do that. He's adjusted very well. I think he's a better fighter. He's learning, and it's I can see the improvement. So he's a better fighter for it. So it's that's done him no harm at all, because that was always going to happen with Joshua anyway. The style he had, the way he was like all there, you know, lads, bring it. I'll take your shots as I can deliver mine. That's one-way traffic. It's going one way. You know, he knows now. You know, this is a heavyweight game. One punch can turn it around. So now, using his brains more clever with what he's doing, more patient as well. So yeah, very be difficult to beat. So that's why it's a good fight. If this fight would have been a few years ago, as AJ was coming up, I'd have said Usyk.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. But what I see now, you know, it is slightly tipped in AJ's favour, but I see it being a good fight.
I must ask you before we conclude. Billy Joe Saunders apparently is split with Mark Tibbs, trainer Mark Tibbs. I mean, your reaction to that?
I don't know their business, and it's not my concern. I can't comment on it. They'll have their own reasons, and that's it. I don't even know if he's going to box again. I have no idea.
Yeah, it would seem like now, you know, with boxing that look, it's quite normal. You know, when trainers, fighters change trainers, it seems quite normal now. You know, rather than such a big surprise. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. You know, if things ain't working out between them, they move on. You know, cracks go sour, as they say.
100%. All right, Peter, it's been a pleasure. I think I'm sweating to death in this gym. I can't wait to get outside.
I know,
but,
yeah, it's very warm. But good to see you, and thanks for coming up.
No, 100%, and we'll come up once more.
Come up again, you're always welcome.